We got a lot of exciting stuff to talk about. This is
Yes, sir.
episode 116 of the Carrying the Culture show. We got a man, Elder Sensei, Dirty Jers, Artifacts, Brick
Love
City,
y'all.
motherfucker.
Everybody on the timeline was good. Was good.
Word. Salute to everybody joining in. So I did pull up the question, pull up the joint. Got a little surprise we want to talk about in a little bit. We'll get to that. Got a bunch of shit to cover. We're just gonna keep it loose, man. I had some was bouncing around a little bit. A lot's happened since I last talked to you. Since we last spoke publicly.
Right.
So the thing I do want to touch on, though, rest in peace, Tape One. You know what I'm saying? Artifacts and just I haven't talked to you. I've talked to you, but we haven't chopped it up about it and everything.
Right.
So just checking in, man. Like, how you doing with that? How you holding up and everything, and just a little bit on just, if you will, on Tame, as far as just we haven't really talked about it, actually.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's been a challenge. I thought it was a challenge when Chaos was going, but this is a little bit extra. And at the same time, it's like a thing that is what life is about. Even if it's happening to one of our close friends or family. And tell you the truth, with a lot of my friends, to say the least, there has been the people that have been keeping me, holding me together, just checking up on me, making sure, my spirits are up. I'm at my man spot now, my man 100, and I'm in the lab, pretty much, this is what I do all the time. And even working gets you through it as well. So I've had a few months to get, soaked into it, and with the work part, it keeps the tradition going. There's a lot of stuff happening right now, even with that, as far as musically, even with the album still being out, I'm letting everybody know still, the album is still out there digitally, Artifacts, Buck Wild, no expiration date. Me and Mr. Lynn about to go on the road, go to Europe in May, June, go push the album out there to let people know. Even though all the vinyl is sold out, all the vinyl I had is gone. All the CDs mostly gone. So that's a good thing. So, the digital version is out there. So, getting this tour done has been a little therapy as well, because, everybody know that even with me and Tame when we was together, I was still, doing shows by myself, either by myself with me and Sadat and with me and Tame. So I would hope to think everybody know with that work ethic it's just going to go extra harder now, because ain't nothing else left. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is the last of, but I'm going to tell y'all this, though. With the last of this being these Artifact songs y'all going to hear, man, I know these songs. You know what I'm saying? My man Kick Beats, salute to him. This brother, I always believe him, and my man Surplus.
You got another joint coming
out there in LA. Yeah, so we got his joints coming.
I mean, because I know every MC I know got all kinds of crazy shit stashed away, like fucking wild shit. Like, niggas send me shit. I'm like, yo. So I know you probably got some shit in
there. And because you got to understand, like, going on the road and going on tour, we never just sat around and been in the hotel room and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? We would go out, and we have friends everywhere we go. So we go to LA, there is no sitting down. There's no chilling. We in the studio. Right. So it's a few times we found ourselves in the studio with, say, like John Robinson, Elo Kush, 2Mex. We all in the studio, Tame. We all in the studio together just chilling. Then all of a sudden songs get done. So these times, like when Tame came to my crib, we would do a song, and then afterward just be bullshitting. But that was the time I was like, yo, nah. Write something real quick. Pull something out. Yeah. And we'd just load up a beat. But I know why I got the track. But Tame probably wouldn't even paying attention to nothing. I'm like, yo, just put something on this. So it was a few times we were doing that, but they turned into songs that's now about to come out. we just putting it together the right way. My man Kick is a phenomenal producer. He did a remix for me and Sadat on the XL album, but y'all gonna be happy with these songs because it's almost gonna be like the songs that we was trying to do album wise anyway before y'all heard the joint with Buck Wild.
Right.
So these songs are like some songs with just me and my man Preem out in LA, me, Joker, and maybe Keith Murray. You know what I'm saying? It's stuff y'all gonna see and hear where y'all gonna remember these conversations we had. Like, damn, he did say that. But I said that here, so I ain't gonna say it nowhere else after the night.
Right.
But
Yeah,
people just gonna just remember I said it though.
Remember he said it. Yo, so like, because I think that's important, man. Like, I'll be honest with you. I mean, just as a fan, I always approach this as a fan first. I mean, we want to hear shit, man. Like, if your shit, there's red tape and da. As this as a fan, like, it's just important, man, because hip hop is such a undocumented until the past maybe 10, 15 years, like in a lot of ways, undocumented culture, you know what I mean? And as far as like shit coming out. So like,
me and Tame didn't do a whole bunch of songs either, where it would like say like it's 3 albums in the vault. It ain't nothing like that. it's joints here and joints there, joints that we've done, features that's gonna come, so for a lot of people we've worked with over the past 2 years or whatever. So this is gonna be dope, because it's never gonna be a time for reflection on sadness. You know what I'm saying, when it comes to talking about us as a group. But I also let people know, it is gonna be a time where, like it was for Biggie, like it was for Big L, like anybody that dies is gonna run out. So we have to depend on all the people that Tame was working with before he passed, that he might have worked with, for all these people to treat it in the same way as if it was like, let's do it like if it was them putting the record out, but it's us doing it. So to take pride in putting the record out. So I'll say that. But, it's a lot of things that's going to happen between like the next few months and next year and the end of the year.
To ask you, just along the lines of, people passing and stuff, is just that we've seen the past few years alone a lot of MCs, people pass away in their 40s. Rest in peace to our man Doc Ock, my man Blackistan. Fuck, man. You know what I'm saying? So like, how are you looking at that? You're a little older than me. How are you looking at that, and how are you approaching that? Like, are you looking at your health any different these days? Are you, you know what I'm saying? Or is that impacting you? These are your peers too, so you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I chalk it up to us getting older, and as we get older, and as our path has gone, if things have happened that we've heard about, we're going to hear a lot more about stuff like this. As all our peers get older, people we just know in the hood as friends that, man, I know MCs that people don't know about that live in my area that have passed and well known in the streets, and some with health wise, some have things that have complications where that leads to that, and some in some cases in our age group, it's been a lot of heart attack, it's been a lot of kidney, a lot of stuff like that. Whereas like a lot of cats too, done stuff in the past where like we got to understand now that our body not the same as we could take all that what we was doing back then. So it's about moderation. Where a lot of times though we get in that mode, you get that party mode, we want to get lit. Everybody forget the next day or afterwards. You know what I'm saying? You're not recuperating as fast. So I really just look at it in that way where we just got to be more mindful that the way we would treat our bodies today is a whole lot different than what there was a comedian. He said when he was 16, he would go outside, have mad fights. You know what I'm saying? Go back in the crib. It would take him about like a week. He'd be back to normal. He got in his 30s and 40s, he ain't want to fight no more because like he have a fight now. Nigga recuperate 3 weeks, 6 weeks. You got to recuperate. You know what I'm saying? You got work now. You on disability. You messing up everything. So these are the things you got to think about now and move a little bit smarter. But for us going on stage, like people don't really take that into consideration. You going on stage for an hour. That's like being in the gym for an hour on a treadmill or you know, lifting weights. That is the same where you gotta keep this mic in your hand, your shit lock up. All kind of things can happen. If you don't stretch before you get on stage, you sweating, you know what I'm saying? If you ain't hydrated, you cramp up.
You've been
Arm
drinking.
cramp up. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you ain't good with your left right hand. I hold my mic in my right hand. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes it's hard doing that with my left hand and control. Nah, it ain't working. I got to do my right hand. So it's like, you know, nightly you're doing this. Sometimes you get on, you know, you're doing 3-4 shows in a row. You might get 2 days off. That ain't enough time. You know what I'm saying? Now you got to think about shit. You know what? All that hanging out at the end of the show, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, as long as I know I'm going to get my bread, because we averaging going back in the room after a show like 3 o'clock in the morning, 3:30 in the morning, because you're getting food after the show. Everybody loud gagging, talking and whatever. By the time you get to your hotel room, it's 3-4. You know, you're gonna eat and go to sleep.
I
And
know.
then depending on, no matter what we're doing in the morning, sometimes we might have to get on the train or a plane or whatever like that. But you're getting out of that hotel average by 12. You know that 11, 12 o'clock.
Nope.
There's no late checkout, no none of that. You're getting up to leave to go to the next place you gotta go to. So if you ain't getting no rest and you got your bags and shit, we doing all this stuff. You know, it's not, and for us, it ain't no damn luxury where we got all these people handling our bags or, you know, all these tour people helping us. It's us, nobody else. So we doing everything. So you know, you gotta be in shape. Running through that damn airport might miss a flight. You know what I'm saying? You got bags on you. You gotta be able to make it.
Yeah.
It
So the
happens.
lifestyle.
It happens. It happens sometimes. So it's like I said, you know, I'm looking at it more so to say too, like, you know, ain't nothing we could do once we go, but is it time? You can at least prevent it from it. You know, we never know when we're going. You never know, but at least while you're in control of it, you know what I'm saying? Like, just try to be mindful that is yours. It's the only thing we got. It's it. I go to the gym as much as I can. I try to do everything I can to keep myself able to go.
Yeah. No. So so you know, obviously, you know, a big topic that's come up the past few years is, and I think it's a good thing to be honest with you, is people talking more and more about mental health, particularly men of color.
Yeah,
Just being candid about it. We have a show with A+ on mental health.
yeah, yeah.
So like, how have you looked at that? Like recently, I mean, how do you? I'm saying, how do you deal with shit? Just in terms of like, we all, because I always say, man, I don't give a fuck who you are. Everybody in this show, everybody on our pages, everybody going through it. It's just to what degree and what, and to what, you know, what kind of shit. But everybody, what, it could be financial, emotional, right? So I don't want to hear shit.
Right.
Everybody's going.
You know, everybody's toleration level is here right now. So it's like I look at this, you know, even what we on right now. You know, everybody every day looking at what everybody else is doing. You got everybody else. You got everybody kind of doing the same thing, but not the same thing. You got some people who are successful at doing some of the same things, and some people not. So I think mentally, you know, it's like the things of what we say, keeping up with the Joneses. That's what this whole thing is about. And some people get it wrong. We're not up here for our own self-satisfaction. We up here to promote what we're doing. Sometimes that don't work out for everybody. So, you know, I know a lot of my friends, a lot of people, you know what I'm saying, like, that's want to do this and do it in a stay more professional way, more way of where it's like they can depend on it rather than say work a regular job and everything like that. And I tell all my people, yo, listen, stick to what you know, but be smart and don't think that because you're not doing it in that way that you're not doing it at all. The best people you know that's doing it right now, that's professional, are struggling too, and trying to stay afloat, trying to find any way. Y'all see a lot of these, y'all get these ads. Some are real, some are not, where people want to work with you. Send me this, I'll do this. You get a video too, and I pay. But it's all still got to do with bread. So when I'm talking about how when you see shit like that, where it wasn't like that in the past, people had like ideas of what they thought a rap person lived like. Where today it's a whole even playing field, where it's like to say mentally some cats don't want to rhyme no more and would rather do what everybody else is doing. And when I say what everybody else is doing, is when I'm saying talking about past things that happened already, but not willing to make future memories today. So it's just everybody's doing the same thing. So and when you have that, everybody doing the same thing, it's not going to work for everybody. So now you got people backbiting each other. I'm the best this, I'm the best that. We back to that. When it's really just about like, at the age we at for a lot of the people that we look at, it's still like they're in high school, teenage, where it's like but it still boils down to who got more than who. I make more money than you. I do this more than you. So it's really just like when people see that, it's confusing because it's really just, what are you doing it for anyway? We in our age now where is this year of the 50th year of hip hop, people way more conscious of hip hop today, this year, than they ever been. But it's dope though. Because it's dope because for a lot of people that never heard of a lot of these, especially the elder artists that they never heard, even for how many female artists there's been, I'm listening to people getting on the radio. Miss Jones said had Shot Rock on there, and she was able to tell her own story rather than some other guy telling it, and it's her saying it.
Right.
And when you heard her story, it came from a place where she wanted people to know, like, yo, I'm the first. One of the first females, you know what I'm saying? So, like, for a lot of people who don't know her, get to hear her like that, respect that a little bit more. You have a lot more people willing to go to see where all the museums at, where the functions at. I want to know. It's going to carry on because a lot of these things, no different than my man Jeremy with the National Hip Hop Museum down in D.C. These things going to pop up everywhere because, Miami got to tell their story. The Midwest got to tell their story. So like, this is what's good about this part of it. But I think, with the thing of everybody doing the same thing, is just hip hop never been about that. Hip hop always been about be original, have your own style, tell your own story, be like no one else. So I would say that as far as me in this part I'm in, as far as being an MC mentally, I just want everybody to understand that, like I said in the Rosenberg interview, it's not that bad that you feel like you got to go to your extreme measures to do certain things. You know what I'm saying? Whether you paying an artist to do a feature, I see still some people would rather pay them first, like, yo, do half. You know what I'm saying? Because they get caught up in the fact that who the person might be. And, once that, and when it don't fly, it's every excuse you got to try to find. Like, no, it's like you got to be smarter to understand that now when that shit don't work, you got to account for all the things you ain't think about that might happen after it gets done. Now you got to pay the dude for being in the video. It might be a show where, okay, I'll come, hit me off with this, da-da-da-da. So it's like, it's a game. But it's a fair game to the people like myself that's saying it to because these people learn that, look, this part of how this shit go, even if you don't like it. This and that's the part where when I say everybody could be doing the same thing, but it's levels of everybody doing the same thing.
Of course.
So everybody can't feel like they're doing what that other person doing.
Right. Nah, of course. I mean, there's definitely levels. You brought up a good point about like everybody's struggling as far as like trying to
trying to get shows, trying to get books. You gotta understand how the money has changed so badly. Like it's like for a lot of artists that was here have to go to ways of doing shit like how that's why it's cool to say independent now, because they even see like, oh shit, if I would have did this before, you know what I'm saying, like maybe treated it like this, but because now today even playing field, so
everybody.
now you get to see who really working.
Yeah.
Especially on because there's no more go have a meeting at a label and get distribution and shit like that. It's just like, yo, let's just go. Let's just go.
Yo, so you're over the past few years, your work ethic has become kind of legendary in the game and stuff, like as far as the merge, putting out joints, features, just being everywhere, just being active. I mean, were you always like that? Excuse me.
Shit, once me and Tame split up, and when I got back on my feet, to know what it was like to not do it, not have a deal, know that we got released, it was like, everything went on pause. My life changed drastically, like where I knew where that bottom was. You know what I'm saying? I knew where, what it felt like, no booking, no nothing. This is like straight from a group. So it was no avenue for me to go to. It wasn't no, you know what I'm saying? It was like, I was like, you know what? I just went to my son, got it to him, took 2 years off, and I tell this story all the time. My man Matt Fingers, he used to come to the studio all the time when we was doing Artifact records. So he's like, yo, if anything happens, just remember me. I was like, all right, cool. We was always cool. And then once that time came and I was chilling, doing nothing, and I was like, yo, remember when you said such and such done it? He's like, yeah. I said, do that still stand? He said, yeah. Let's, So I knew he had a label, but he gave me a good jump off. You know what I'm saying? As far as like to do a record with Organized Confusion before they split, Mike Zoot, FT, Sean J. Period on the beat. It was like I left from the Artifact stuff with Sean, got back with Sean to do a solo record, and it was a good ass record. Frontline did a lot, so much where I remember when Black Star was on Rap City, and if you go back, the intro to Rap City, when they had a DJ playing, it was like a lot of stuff going on in the intro, but when they started the record spinning, it was the Frontline record, and I would always look at that like, damn, why they pick that record? Like, but it had characters on it because of the artwork. So I remember Black Star doing the interview before they went on stage. Kweli was in the back and he was looking at some records of, I guess, the show. And he going through the pile, boom, he stopped and was just looking at this one record. I didn't see what it was at the time. I was just looking at it. And he pulled it out of the stack and picked it up, looked at it, and I even pulled it up. It was the Frontline record. And that night, when I saw the show footage, they used Frontline in their show. One of the instrumentals I guess when they were freestyling. So I was like, damn, that's dope. That showed me like, okay, they like the record too. Stretch and Bobbito played it. Everybody played it. I was like, okay, maybe this will work.
Right.
Maybe I can actually do it. But it wasn't easy. So like to know how that felt to go back to the beginning, start from scratch. I never want to go back to that again. I don't know, but even doing that, I was still like, working with Mary Joy Records. I went to Japan. Me, Chaos, and my man P Original. And that was a dope thing because I went with them. And I made a lot of friends over there, did a lot of business, even so much to a point where my man P Original got to do a record with some guys out there and got paid. He he spent his own bread to go there and got out there, worked, got his money right back and a little bit more. So he pretty much went for free and got a paid gig. So, you know, once I knew the formula, I was like, okay, you know, in the beginning it was a lot of 10-day contracts with different labels, like different teams, but I was still working until I got with Seven Heads, got the deal with them, and then I was like, okay, took a little break, got with Fat Beats, took a little break, but it was just like after 2006, it didn't stop after that. I was okay now because I knew what to do. I was okay, not so much say get with a label, but I was getting with, like, say, the Return as a producer and a DJ. They knew of my work. I went out there to Poland when 2006, 2007, here I'm at a crossroads again, but not in far as what to do with my career, but like what to do next.
Right.
And then they came. Then that opened it up a little bit more, and I was able to be in Europe all the time, did all those hip hop camp shows and got into other different festivals. So that's what kept the name really out there. Then to get back with Tame and go back to all the places I was at by myself with him because me and Tame only went to Europe in 2000, like say like the 90s, like maybe once or twice together, like in a lot of regions. But when we split, I was over there a whole lot.
Yeah,
so to get back with him and then go, it was a lot of people's first time seeing me and him ever in person, on stage, everything. So that just showed me, and I told Tame, I said, that just showed us, even with us breaking up and getting back together, it picked up the workload, but it showed him that, look, even with that, be able to go on stage, you do your solo shit, I can do my solo shit, then we do the shit together, and so it worked.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And we worked more after. It's funny to me, we was split up more in the 10 years that we broke up compared to the 4 fast years we was in the group on Atlantic. And then to get back together in 2008 up to 2010 and on, we did way more work together than we did on the label, not on the label. So even with that, it was it was just trying to show that even though we this group and didn't even have a deal, I'm telling Tane, look, bro, we're doing tours of 2 albums from the 90s, not even, and a whole bunch of singles, and we wasn't even doing those on stage. We doing all the old stuff. And I told him that's why this record with Buck came about, because I told him we ain't gonna make the money we would want to make if we don't do something new.
Right.
Hence the new album, and then we are where we are now. So I even was trying to pass it on to him to say, look, this shit easy. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just that we don't have this big ass machine like we have with Atlantic, but it ain't like we got to enjoy that big machine like that for a long time. But to know what it was compared to having the freedom, I wouldn't say, if I was able to go back, I think it'll be way different, because they would see, all right, we know who you were when you were with this. We give you a little more freedom to do whatever, but I want it on my terms. But as far as like doing that, I would never go. I want to keep working, work. It's like, because I don't want to go back to that how it used to be. So I would rather, you know, and it's like, I'd rather work with everybody. You know, quantity is more quantity and quality than rather nothing. Because you could do a little bit of shit, maybe make the money you want to make, but with that little bit of shit, it's just that little bit of shit compared to working with everybody. Give everybody else a chance. You never know who these people turn out to be when you get these emails, bro. You know what I'm saying? When they want to do these features, you never know who they are. They could be the shit somewhere you never know, and you do the job good. Do a good verse, you know. I write new bars every time I do a feature. It's nothing old, nothing. So, you know, you take it seriously. When you do, you find out, you know, some of these people might be like yourself, where they work hard and they want their record to do good, and they ask you for advice, and they wind up talking to people that you don't know and say, yo, you know such and such? I'm like, oh, word? Like, yeah, he doing the remix. Like, damn, that's what's up. So, and these are things that these people doing.
Right.
But I'm affiliated with it because, and then that person that'll probably not even understand or know. Oh, word, he worked with you, coach. Oh, okay. Well, what's good with that? Okay, yeah, work. Go do it. So this, and then it just passed on, and then they wind up working. So, and then this is the power of belief, and where people, where you could ask for that, this here, and get here. And then that should come, and then they go here, and he be like, "See, you just be easy, it'll come."
Right.
And this is like, this is why I say never sleep on that. Never sleep on people that's hustling like yourself.
Yeah, no, dope advice, man. Really good advice. Anybody listening out there, man, just what I'm saying, a good way to do it, and it's been clearly working for you. So we got a dope, got a little announcement on the way. Why don't you take it away, man? I'm gonna let you run with it. You the MC. Why don't you run away?
Well, that's my perfection, right? So, all right, y'all, check it out. So me and Jamal was talking, and he already, had this idea, but he said, "Oh, let's like do something together." And I was like, "Well, this is probably a better way to do it. It is not too crazy. I think that everybody who does these things know what we're trying to do. So let's get to it. This right here is a very good pillow, very good quality pillow, carrying the culture logo on the inside. And we got the artifacts, that's them logo on the other side with the cityscape. So this is $50, y'all. We're gonna get your extra stuff that comes with this. So you're gonna get this sticker pack. You're gonna get a little bit, nice little package with your pillow. But $50, we're gonna have pre-orders for this. If y'all want one, I'm gonna put up the post. I put a post up already about it with the link and everything. So this is the part of the cross branding that we talking about. Jamal is gonna be in control of everything that got to do with getting this pillow, and I'm gonna be pushing it with him, and I'm gonna be posting this so we make sure everybody got one. And I don't want to say the tagline is "Don't sleep on the pillow." You know what I'm saying? Kind of corny. But
Here's my corn.
this we doing. Yeah, and it's like it don't lose its form. It's a zipper on here on the side. I don't want to mess it up and try to undo it, but it's a zipper on here. If you want to take this foam out and put memory foam or whatever, but this is good. You ain't even got to do that. So after the day, I'm gonna post this again. $50. Link is gonna be on my page on the post. Y'all can follow tomorrow. He got the link in his post as well. Story is in the page, and I'm gonna put the link in my bio too. But y'all support us. If y'all know what the page is about, y'all know what we doing. It's gonna be a lot more of this. Like he said, I see somebody laughing. Don't sleep on the pillow. Yeah, man. So yeah, we just trying to do something positive. It's gonna be a lot more stuff like this, but we just this is what we doing. If
Show the other side again. That shit came out dope. Show me your shit. Yeah.
Boom.
Look at that shit. That shit came out good.
And
yeah. So
nice and crispy. This shit do not. The quality of the pillow is crazy because it ain't like some old. It ain't gonna rip. It ain't gonna fade. The logo's not coming off. You know what I'm saying? Depending on how you are with the pillow and how you sleep, is how you dictate how you watch. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, we doing this.
Yeah. So salute, man. Yeah, no, good things. Lots of things coming. Work. A lot of work we're doing together, and it's been a good run building the past few years. Yo, I wanted to talk about, we were talking about people passing and stuff like that. And, True Roy just passed recently, rest in peace. And Planet Asia came on recently. And he said, pretty much quoting verbatim, he was like, if you're an MC and you don't have De La or native tongue in your DNA, I guarantee your rapping is kind of bland.
He's right.
He goes, your shit is kind of
right.
He said, it's kind of regular. You don't. He's like, you don't know how to be different. What's your thoughts on that?
Well, different is the key word. Because when I first heard plug tuning, I just I mean I heard what they were saying, but I was like, damn, these dudes saying words, but I'm like, not what they're talking about. But it was so here that you wanted to listen to it more. It was like a whole weekend. Red Alert was just playing it, and I just because I wanted to hear what they were saying, I listened to it more and more. And then I heard potholes. I was like, oh wow. See, but the music, but see what was dope about it though, because the music was so dope. You, you couldn't not listen to what they were saying. So it was like coded.
Yeah.
It was like it was like how people talk about Ghost and Raekwon today.
Right.
And when I just saw their episode on the show and how you listening to how they talk, it is their jargon, is how they speak. So when I heard potholes and I heard plug tuning, I was like, yo, they not talking regular at all. But the words was huge. The shit made sense though, because if you could figure it out, it was something that you knew that was gonna be special when the album came. So like, but this is what I mean about being a fan of these people. So even with them being in native tongue, they was different than Tribe Called Quest. Tribe Called Quest, you could never compare De La Soul and Tribe Called Quest, not even musically. Because when you listen to De La Soul's records compared to Tribe, De La's records was like, always had that element of them being in the basement, fucking around with the music, where they would throw scratches and stuff inside their records while how can I say it, while the record was going. You know what I'm saying? It didn't stop. It went with what they was doing. So it could be like him rhyming, only pressure make a trip with that's the so it's like it's in there in the song. So it was, and their records was fun. So like you was like you waited for the next one to come. Balloon Mind State. When I listened to that shit, they always found ways to add other people in with their shit. Where it was like you was part of their song. You wasn't, not say outdoing them, but you were part of their song and you were part of the fun. No different than Redman being on Ooh Ooh Ooh. So it's like you knew who Redman was. He played his part. Like, yo, I'm on the song with De La Soul. So he had the same spirit inside of him where he's like, yo, I have to be a part of this. So being a fan of their music, you only champion even later on, as even if the label situation wasn't what it was supposed to be, whether if it was on Beyonce father's label, and whether it was Baby Grand, whether it was Tommy Boy, they made dope ass records. Even with the situations they had, they made good with what they had, where you couldn't never doubt the music. So, you know, my man working with Super Dave West, you know, working with Dilla, their own beat. A lot of people don't know Pasta News made that the Bush Babies with Most Def singing on that shit. They don't even realize he made that beat. He made, your boy Pops made Crosstown Beef.
What?
Boom, boom, boom. See what I'm saying? And that's when you listen to that beat and that record, it sounds like a Daylight record.
Crosstown Beef be like Crosstown Traffic.
Yeah.
Brothers be on
that sounds like a Daylight record, bro.
What?
Yeah. See, look, crack your skull.
Yo, my head just fucking exploded, yo. Like this shit oozing out of my ear right now. Like, what?
Yep. I mean, when I found out, I mean, and I shouldn't doubt that they can make beats like that. They've been around Prince Roy. They've been around everybody. You're gonna learn. They made their beats early too, so they remind me of. They all remind. They remind us of ourselves, especially if you make music. You know, they was like, you look at their old records and you look at videos. They was in their basement. You know what I'm saying? That's where you made the most noise and your most creations. So, you know, as a fan. You didn't deny it. You just fucked with it.
I was dropping Jules hip hop history right here. Niggas, everybody had fucking just leaking right now. Everybody in the shit, they brain just leaking out their ear right now. Like right fucked up right now.
If I'm lying, I'm flying.
But it makes sense that they got beats though, of course, man. I mean that only makes sense, you know what I'm saying? What's your favorite De La project?
Okay, so I said Balloon Mind State. I just think of that damn In the Woods, boy. God, that song is so perfect. But I will have to say, my favorite De La album is Stakes is High, because even in that record, they were doing a lot of their production too. I respected it a lot, because that's hard to make beats like that. Like, where you went from working with all these different people, but that record was personal too. And when I listen to L.I. Groove, all that shit in that record, just even with the homeless man talking for the Stations House song, come on, you felt that old man and his struggle. So when that record, but then the later records too, I like Bionics.
Yeah.
I mean,
got the joint, you know what I'm saying?
Right. I like Bionics. I like all of their records, man. But States High had a lot of joints on there where, I mean, that record was just dirty. It was maybe their most non-cleanest record that they ever made.
On their shoulder, you know what I'm saying? It was clear that they had a bit of a chip on their shoulder,
right.
In my opinion. Like there was, they was like, yo, like, you know, mine personally is De La Soul is dead. That shit is just, to me, that shit is brilliant in so many ways, and
Right.
just, it also, like, it was special to me because at the time when it came out, like, it showed to me that, like, rap could be, I mean, they always showed that rap could be different, but it continued to show that, like, they could, like, that you could push the envelope in hip hop and, like, be different and not have, you know, again, different, right? It's not about
and you can say this too about their later records, and maybe starting with my man said who's old, right? Starting with those records is when the coding stopped. The code word talk stopped, and it became deliberate. It became, oh shit, you know what? Fuck all that. Let's say what the hell we gotta say. They was mad, of course. You know, a lot of shit wasn't. But like for me, musically, lyrically too. And this is why I say that's why I picked that joint last week. How You Want It, because your boy Dave on that Stations High album stepped it up so crazy on a lot of those songs. You know, where it's like even himself said, like, yo, you know what? Let me stop cold talking and get on my shit too, because you know, Paz has always been in high regard lyrically. Where people did not say Dave didn't, but a lot of lists I saw. But I'm like, do y'all even listen? So I think he consciously was like, oh, okay, and that shit started changing, and to where it was like his bars became, you know, when you listen to Stations High and you listen to his bars on that song, that's what I'm talking about.
Yo,
you know what I'm saying? He started cursing.
Check this shit, yo. Like, so we was talking about that, me and my man, Save the Hip Hop Culture, as far as like him, how nice he was, and that he didn't really get. He was more slept on than Paz. And Paz is Paz is my favorite, but like my man is on here. He's like, yo, Dave, fuck, Dave. Like, so Sack, my man pointed out, yo, that Dave rhymed differently on every single album. Like, and I had to go every single. So he said on every single De La album, Dave had a different style of kind of flowing. Actually, he pointed out a lot of different shit. So, like, brother was nice, man. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? De La, big.
But he always, for me, he always had them standout ones, like where he was like, oh shit, where that come from?
Right.
Like when I listen to Shafi MC, you know what I'm saying? When I listen to him on that, I like, see? And he went mad later in the song.
He,
And you know, but his songs like that make me remember him more. You know what I'm saying? Like all them B-sides, all them remixes, you know, even the remix with Biz Markie and the other, like, there's a lot of records people don't remember that they did that was like, you know, yeah, you had to break it down, but listen to the remix. And,
yeah.
and where it was, they had hidden secret songs. But even with Paz, when I heard with the Stay Away joint he did with Rob O and Pete Rock, when we played that one, people were like, damn, what the hell was that? What's that? Dudes got around, but it was because Paz was more in the forefront. But I felt like Dave came after the State Design. He went, his shit just went up, especially Verbal Clap, all you know, a lot of them songs with Dilla.
Yeah.
He shined on a lot of those songs.
Yeah. Yeah, he was nice, man. I mean, I think he was nice. I think maybe, you know, his flow was very laid back. You know what I'm saying? So I think that may have had something to, you know, like he was like, but he had the one-liners that would go over your head. You had to go back and
Right, right.
Wait, what did he say? Like, what? Like, wait, hold up. Like, hold up. What did he say? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he killed it in It's So Easy. You know what I mean? Like, he was burning shit. You know what I mean? So, like, you pointed out the De La Redman joint. That joint is,
yeah, he bodied that crazy.
Yo, yeah, and that's just a dope. That's a dope track by itself.
And be like, yo, when you listen to him on there, he was popping shit on that verse. Even when I looked at the video, I was like, yo, there's a lot of bleeps and spaces in that song. I didn't realize until I like just peeped out again. Like, wow, they were cursing a lot.
I mean, A Plus told me one time we were building. It's on YouTube. He was telling me about like when they were on tour with him. Like he's seen them cats, fucking cats wreck on niggas. Like he said he's seen them like lay cats out, like all of them. I was like, you know, so that's what they talked about. Like, you know, when they, you know, the Daisy shit. Like, yo, don't get it twisted. We will bust your ass.
Right.
You know what I mean. We got to get out of here in a minute, so I wanted to let you share real quick though the what you got going on. I'm trying to be a part of that. I'm trying to get my schedule straight to be a part of that. So what's
no doubt. So like I said earlier, on the most immediate thing. Okay, so
you got
me and
real quick, yo.
Okay, so this
stop. I just want to give you your flowers here real quick. Like yo, like I'm gonna tell all y'all motherfuckers out there, if anybody out here raps, whatever, if you PR for people doing it, look, if you want to know how to do it in this game, just follow this cat's page. Do what he does. Like I'm giving you, he's giving you free game. I'm giving you free game. Like just he tells you where he is. He posts his shit, his shows, the merch, the gear, new joints coming out, keeps it moving. You know what Elder Sensei is up to. Like, and he's doing well. Still OG in the game. Like, listen, all of you, like, just follow this cat. Like, it's right there. The formula is right there. I keep telling y'all motherfuckers, like, yo, just do what L does. Like, just do it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I've never seen you like 8 people in one. Like, I've never seen.
I mean,
you know what I'm saying? I've never
to do what we doing on here. Look, I always say it like this. I know a lot of my brothers and a lot of people on here can attest to what I'm about to say. Even yourself. I know a lot of dudes that work. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I'm not getting up early in the morning to do heavy lifting and whatever other job I got to do with labor. The least I can do is promote my ass off as much as I can, because that's all it is really about. You know, like you can go on here and look on some people explore page and they got just all ass shots all on their little screen, when you can just, you know, go on there and the only thing people see me doing every day in my feed, artifacts, 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 show, tours, because there's nothing else for me to do on there. I'm not really the one. I'm not so talkative on there. I really don't have nothing to talk about unless it's got something to do with me being in here working with my man. You know, I'm home most of the time, so like, unless I got to go out and do something, I'm doing it. But this is the least that you can do. You know, why leave it up to somebody else? You know, we have our own phones. People should know how to be able to navigate through their phone and do work on there and write invoices and pay your taxes and pretty much be the entrepreneur on here. You know, this is what we on here for. You know, why are we, you know what I'm saying? Like, I tell people I have no time to be on here. You know, I see a lot of my friends, people I know, people I watch on their phone just be scrolling. I'm like, yo, look, I'm putting stuff on here. If anybody interested in buying anything, okay, I'm doing nothing but that. And most of the time, we only got 24 hours in the day. I got to cook. I'm washing clothes and shit, I'm doing regular man shit. And this is work too, but that work is, you know, and use what it's for. Morning, noon, and night. You ain't got, you know, some people think that being on here, like, yo, I ain't trying to be all up on here. You know what I'm saying? Like, why are you on here for? Like, you know, if you doing business, be on here. That's what's going to help you make more business. That's what's going to help you see more people on your thread. And, you know, so like, I don't care how many likes the picture might get. Just know after that shit go up, off to the post office, off to the studio. Also, when I'm doing all this stuff, is business happening, you know, and it works differently for everybody. Because a lot of my friends, on the timeline that's doing just as much as I am, or wanting to do it, you know, and I see everybody, and I like what I see, you know, and I see, you know, everybody that follow, even your page, we all follow the same people. The same people who follow me, and we all taking note of what we are all each other doing. Even if nobody's saying that. This is about influence. It's not about hoarding business ties. It's not about keeping people away from what they really want to do. At this point in my career, it's about lending a hand. It's about giving advice. It's about, you know, so these things going to lead to a business in later on. But while I'm participating in the business too, I can't do business the way I would want to if I stop while I'm doing it. I can't. So I just, you know, at the same time, just let people know, like, hey, look, do this shit here, do that there, do this. This shit'll work, you know. But most thing I could tell everybody, man, just like, go your own fucking way. Don't listen to nobody. You know what I'm saying? Because that person that's telling you not to do it, scared to do that shit too. So don't let somebody else not tell you something you really want to do. And don't be scared, because the only thing you do is fuck up and try it again. You know, you're going to invest in yourself, invest in what you're trying to do. That's the best way you're going to know if it's going to work or not. You know, scared money don't make no money.
Of course not. Nah. So real quick, this is going to cut me off, man. I don't know if you want to run it back or something. I want you to share what you got going on. You got mad shit going on.
How many minutes we got? How many minutes?
We got literally 2.5.
All right. So yo, tour popping May, June. Me and Mr. Lynn, we're gonna be in Denmark. We're gonna be doing a UK run. We're gonna be in Czech Republic. We're gonna be in Italy. There's still more shows coming in. But everybody, please follow me. Y'all want to know anything about this damn pillow right here? Y'all follow me and my man tomorrow. Y'all can pick this up. I know we're gonna still be on here for a couple more seconds, so I'm gonna keep the peace down. Oh yeah, but yeah, man, like just fuck with us. We trying to make it happen, and y'all know how we do.
Yeah, man. Elder Sensei, look at you. You wrapped it up quick. You still have
man.
one. Yeah. Don't sleep on the pillow.
Word.
That'll be the.
Don't sleep on the pillow.
And artifacts. That's, you know.
You see, it's kind of, and it's big too. Y'all see, it ain't small. This ain't no throw pillow. This is a real pillow. You can go to sleep with this pillow for real.
Yeah. So, mad shit going on. You all over the place. I mean, it's not just you're in San Diego, out
Yeah,
in
man. San Diego, we're gonna be Arizona at the Trail
Phoenix,
Shop.
trail shop out in Phoenix, right? You know,
Yep.
I want to
We're
get
gonna
out
be
to.
in Denver. We're gonna be in Sadak. Gonna be in Denver at the Bar Red. So if y'all out there in Colorado, come to Bar Red in Denver.
Oh, I tell my
May
home.
May 6th. May
I'm gonna
6th.
tell my homeboy to come through out there. Oh, she said bring some pillows to Phoenix to the trip. All right, all right.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm gonna have the B-boys come out to the Denver show there
Okay.
because I got.
Okay. Yeah, tell them to come through.
So I tell the B-boys to come out to the show in Denver. When
Yeah.
is that?
It's Bar Red. I think it's 437
No,
West Colfax.
when?
May 6th.
May 6th.
Yeah.
Tell my peoples. Yeah. Salute to everybody who was on the show. Sorry I didn't get to the questions we was building. You know what I'm saying? Shit happens. Hopefully you got some information out of it. Big up to our man out of Sensei working.
I'm gonna tell y'all now. We really was, we wanted to let y'all know about this pillow.
Yes, sir.
Yes. So and all y'all got, if y'all wanted y'all pre-order this pillow today, y'all can own one just like we own one. So thank y'all very much.
Yes.
Y'all cool as hell. Everybody up on here, love y'all, and just keep supporting us. Keep supporting what we're doing. We're gonna keep making good music. We're gonna keep giving y'all good interviews. Keep giving y'all good picks of the weeks, and y'all don't even know what's about to happen in the future, man. Like there's a lot going on.
Oh, let me go. We out. I don't want to lose the show. Salute, fam. Thank you again. Always.
Peace.
Peace.